Hello, 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 everyone. How is everyone doing? How was everyone's week? It's Anna, Lunchtime with Anna. I am here with two very admirable men. As I say, they're meant to be respected, men that know what time it is. Like Kamani knows, I call him a man. I don't call just anybody a man, okay? You gotta show some skills to be a man, okay? One of them is respecting women, and I love that. I love that. I love that. Kamani's really big on that. So these two men, they deal a lot with what we call human trafficking in different ways. And because we had this breaking news that came through with this administration going ahead and giving all this funding towards human trafficking, I figured what better than having these two men as guests on Lunchtime with Anna and asking them to take out of their busy schedule, because I know they're busy men, to be able to come on this show real quick. Before I introduce them, I want to have everybody remember to please, COVID is still out there. Wash your hands, sanitize, whatever it is that you do. You should know to keep, cleanliness. That should be natural. Okay. Wear your mask because you don't know that what other underlying diseases somebody might have, such as cancer or other things that you're not aware of and that person has, they're not aware of. And then here we go, and we got all kinds of complications. Let's just make it easy for everybody, and let's just love one another. That's what it's about. And then the next thing is, I want to first introduce, I'm going to start from left to right. So I want to first introduce my left, of course. Kimani Sadiq is to my left. And introduce yourself, Kimani. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself and who you are, what it is that you do, what it is that you do in this community, who was Kimani in his earlier days, and what has brought him here.
Well, first of all, Anna, thanks for having me on the show. And my co guest, Shem here, my main man. Close my door, bro. Close my door. I'm helping some sisters out with some homeschooling right now. So I got some boys over. My name is Kamani Sadiq. I'm a ex CI guy, counterintelligence guy. I retired about 7 years ago. I was a Middle Eastern specialist, so I spent a lot of time over in the Middle East, and in doing that, I missed out on a lot that was going on here in the States. So once I retired, I was able to really see what was going on here in the States, and it was, man, I felt like I couldn't retire. I just went from pretty much from one battlefield to another, and I started Atlanta chapter of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, searching for like-minded individuals to that felt what I was feeling, and I've since retired from that and kind of doing a solo thing and teaming up with my man Shem here, somebody who is just as passionate about sex trafficking as I am. Honestly, I feel like he's the we're like a Batman and Robin. I'm not gonna say who he's probably Batman because he can kick my ass. He got hands. I'm excuse me. He's a hand man. I'm a shooter. So I feel like I'm one of the best in my craft, and I've seen martial artists. I'm a martial artist, and I know that he's the best in his craft that I've seen. So when you couple that with the fact, when you marry that up with the fact that we both are extremely compassionate about saving our people, it makes us a dynamic duo, and I'm privileged to know him, and it's a privilege to be on your show talking about something that we're both passionate about, which is sex trafficking.
And you know what? While you were saying that, that's what I was thinking, the dynamic duo, because especially with that live that I seen you say about him, man, what can be more complimenting than, and it's true, in this lifetime, we only get like, me, I have, they might kill me because I'm live. I have maybe one person that I'm like, that's my friend. You know what I'm saying? So besides that, you're an acquaintance. We cool, but we're not that cool,
Right.
I'll tell you
we might have something in common. We might have commonalities. We might have, you might like soccer, I might like soccer, that sort of thing. But a friend, man, like this man could say, hey man, I gotta go off for a couple of months. Can you come spend a couple of nights at my house just so people know that there's a man there? And he can do that with a clear conscience, knowing that I'm staying in the house with my sister and my nieces. You know what I'm saying? Like blood sister and blood nieces. Like that's truly what a friend is. You know what I'm saying? Like if if
Absolutely.
if we were to do some type of dirt and one of us were to get caught, we already know that, yeah, it's
There
already,
you go.
it's
I
already,
get
it's a done deal. You know what I'm saying? If I get caught, if something happens with me, then
it.
he's gonna take care of my so
Absolutely.
something happened to me. So that's what a friend is to me.
Absolutely. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's why I only have
Right,
one.
right.
Okay, Shemuel. I love that name. I told you that yesterday when we spoke pre-interview. And thank you. I really, and I appreciate both of you for taking out of your busy schedule once again to come and talk about this important topic. Please tell the listening audience, who is Shem? And Shemuel, hang on, because he can say whatever he wants you guys to call him. Who's Shemuel? What do you do? What was your past? What brought you here to do what you do today?
Well, greetings to everybody. Blessings, and thank you, number one, Anna, for having us on. And once again, to reiterate the point, I'm honored to be able to share this platform with a beautiful warrior, somebody who's passionate about his people. Kamani is definitely a big brother to me. He's always been a true friend. We linked up. It was almost spiritually divine. It was spiritually divine how we linked up. It was, I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and we just kind of saw each other, and that spirit just kind of jumped out of both of us. Said, hey, you guys used to know each other back then, so we just reconnected in this time. So his passion for our people, for liberation, his honesty. At times can be very brutal, but it's always coming from a place of genuine love and reality. And that is very rare in this time. And uh, I know he may rub some people the wrong way, but I tell you, if it rubs you the wrong way, that means you're truly not prepared for liberation. And if that offends somebody, well then I'm sorry, but we're talking a different mind state over here. My name is Shemuel Binyamin, aka Coach Sam. I'm the founder of the Bus System Fighting Academy and co-owner. We teach Muay Thai, American kickboxing, Russian style Sistema, Kesi, and Kali. We've infused the concepts together to bring a true, strong, combative fighting style that is applicable for men, women, children. We're very, very passionate on combative and self-defense so that our women and children can be able to protect themselves. Also, that our men are able to protect our women and children. We've spent over 30 years in the martial arts. I've been a bodyguard in Atlanta, security at a few high-end establishments. I've worked in overseas brokering and security, sending guys for rescue missions and so on and so forth for my security company. So we've done some due diligence when it comes to recovery. So with all the experience that we've had, we put a lot of time and thought into bringing you a system or a fighting style that is going to work real time I live by this principle. If you come to me day one, you will leave day one with something that will save your life right then. And with time, we build on that. But I'm just honored to be here and work along mighty warrior brothers like this. We're very passionate about saving our people. Very passionate about stopping the sex trafficking, this human trafficking, these rapes that are going on in our community. And it's time to put a stop to it. And that goes by any means.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I know that you fellas have your, what you would call, I call them organizations. because really to me that's what it is. You guys call them camps. You fellas call them camps. Could you guys give a little background on what that is? And then we're going to go on to tell the listening audience why this passion for what goes on, because I know I'm not sure if it's both of you guys, because I was tagged on a documentary coming up, and I'll ask about that as well. But I'd like to know, about, if you guys can tell the listening audience about these two programs that you guys have joined in together to help the community, help these boys, help these girls, and help these women.
Yeah,
Who would
absolutely.
like to start?
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Like I said, I've seen experts in Krav Maga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Kung Fu, French Special Forces, Israeli Special Forces, you name it. I've seen just about every fighting style that was out there. And I've never seen anyone what Shim has done has he's brought all of these styles that he knew, and he created his own style. And it's not a I take a punch, you take a punch style. It's a get somebody broke off and get away from them. So that style to me was super important for me to team up with. My style is I'm a gunslinger. So I teach women the importance of carrying a firearm. So the way I look at it is we've covered both bases. If you're accosted or attacked without your firearm, he's going to give you something that you can get away with. If you're attacked or accosted with a firearm, I'm going to give you something that you can get away with. So as far as what we're giving away or what we're giving to the people, more so than skills, we're giving women and children a level of confidence, and being able to walk around without fear is priceless, and that's pretty much what we're trying to do. Now, as far as the camps goes, man, we're teaching it all. We're teaching you how to shoot, move, communicate, how to fight hand to hand, Shim's teaching you how to fight hand to hand, how to get out of trunks, how to do everything. We're teaching you how to move around without a GPS, with a map, a compass, and a protractor. We're teaching you how to evaluate a casualty and treat for shock, fractures, burns, head injuries, and those sorts of things. How to purify water, the difference between bugging in and bugging out, outdoor survival. So we're giving an all-encompassing camp on how to survive when the stuff hits the fan, pretty much. We try to cover all bases. If we can think of something between now and the next camp that we didn't teach at the last camp that's instrumental, believe me, we're gonna get on it, and we'll be teaching at the next camp. So yeah.
So just so that they get an idea, I'm sorry for interrupting you, because I know you were. So they get an idea. Is everybody? I mean, I know the answer to this, but they don't. Is everybody in one training camp together? Do you train people separately? Do you do individual camps? How do you guys do this? And they're going to want to know, of course, what are the prices, or do they need to contact you guys, so forth, so
on. One of the things, like Brother Kamani was saying, and this is why this is a perfect marriage. He deals with the firearm training, and he deals with awareness training, gun situation, how to respond, live time. The functionality of his department covers every scenario basis with the firearm. I tackle the close quarter, hand-to-hand combat, blades, accessing other weapons per se, how to put the whole thing together as far as your fighting style, live time, if you have to use other weapons, how to find other weapons in the event that you're attacked, rape prevention, hand-to-hand survival, how to get away, situational response. Kamani tackles a lot of first aid. I tackle a lot of qigong and anxiety training and responses from energy and fear compartmentalization, how to tackle that. He does as well, just different scenarios, different responses. But each group has their own foundation and their own lanes. So if you say, okay, well, I just want to focus on firearm training, then you'll go to Brother Kamani. If you want to focus on hand-to-hand and situational training of that nature, then you'll come to me. But we do the joint camps because we want to give everybody the best of both worlds, and so that they can basically get everything in one fair swoop. Kamani touched on fear earlier, and we talk about this all the time. Fear is the number one component or the number one asset that the enemy has that he uses against us. If he pulls his gun, if he pulls a knife, he tells you to come here, tells you to do this. It's our fear that causes us to comply. Fear makes us fold under pressure. And the thing that we want to do is, or we attempt to do, and we push to do in our training, is help you overcome your fear. And once you overcome your fear and that level of confidence becomes pushes to the forefront, you become a totally different person. It doesn't mean that we don't operate with humility. It doesn't mean that you lose your compassion. It doesn't mean that you lose your loving nature. But when a person operates with confidence and they're no longer afraid of the dark, they're able to walk anywhere. And they're able to look their opponents in the eyes, and they're going to tell the opponent, or they're going to tell the attacker, not today. And it's going to give them something extra in that fight. And that's what I want to give. And that's what Kamani wants to give you, that extra in that fight, because we need the extra to survive.
Absolutely.
If I can tag on to what Shim said real quick, I'll give you an example without going too much into detail, because I don't know if the young lady wanted me to reveal the details of what happened. But there was a young lady who left our camp, graduated Sunday, and that evening got into a physical altercation with a man, and was able, she couldn't wait to text me and tell me what happened. She broke the man down and was able to get away from him with a technique that Shim used. She was so happy about the technique working, she didn't know what to do. She texted me, she's got all these exclamation points, man. I called her and she told me what happened. But long story short, she was able to get away from him using the techniques that she had learned the day before it happened. So that's exactly what we're selling here. What we're giving is a level of confidence and a level of technical know-how, so you don't have to be fearful.
Absolutely. We have a caller on the line. That story is amazing, because let me tell you one thing. Maybe if she wouldn't have been there, how is she going to protect herself and defend herself? Right. So ladies, right, think about that. And before the show's over, I'll make sure that there's contact information for them, before we get off the air.
Oh, wait.
Caller, go ahead with your name, your question, and/or your comment.
So this is Bishop Gregory Adams. I'm listening to your show, and I'm enjoying the information that's being disseminated at this point, talking about self-defense. And I just love what these two gentlemen are offering to give men and women the ability to confront their assailants, whoever they may be, and know how to get out of. One of the problems that we do face, and as you heard the gentleman say, is that fear allows us to surrender to any aggressor, and that's what allows us to become a victim. But if we're able to stand up and we know how to defend ourselves, then that's very key and vital. And I encourage what they're offering for everyone, both male and female, to go and take advantage of the opportunity to learn how to defend themselves anytime they're confronted with an assailant.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And Bishop, hello. It took me a second, but I was like, hey, that's Bishop. How are you doing today? It's nice for you to call in. And you're absolutely right. Especially the way that I love the mentality. As many people know, my father's retired Army. So I have a special love anyways, because I'm an Army brat for military people. Anyways, especially, the highest respect. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, Shemuel, was it you that I interrupted, or did I interrupt Kimani that was talking about the young lady? Was it you, Kimani?
That was when you were talking about the when I was speaking of the young lady who used Shim's technique.
Yeah. So,
I was done with it.
And then, okay, so out of all these cases, now, I have to ask, because this comes and goes, and I'm sure you guys have seen some atrocious things that have gone on. which one that you guys can speak of course, because I know, some things cannot be spoken of, but that you guys can speak of, which one to you guys, to both of you guys, and I'll ask you individually, was probably the most memorable one that you were like, man, I'm glad that I was there able to help this person, or through my training, whatever the case might have been. Something like the story you just said, Kimani.
Man, I'll give you an example. And this is a quick example. I had a friend of mine who called me and asked me to come over to eat Sunday dinner with her. And it was like 8 o'clock at night. And I was like, man, by the time I get there, it's going to be 10 o'clock and I'm going to fall asleep. So I just put it away from me. I'll get it tomorrow, because I don't like staying at anyone else's house.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, she convinced me to come over, and we ended up eating, and we fell asleep on the couch. And at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a noise in the kitchen, and I got into the kitchen just in time to find somebody coming through her second story window. He was halfway through the window. I was able to, do a few things to him, and I'm not a big fan of calling the police. So what happened? I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it at that. But the point is, it's serious, and there's something that's guiding myself, and there's something that's guiding Sam. I know that for a fact, because we find ourselves in several positions, like the one that I just named, in just the nick of time to stop a child from getting trafficked, or to stop a woman from getting attacked, or something like that. At one point, I was talking to my brother, and it seemed like every other week I was just in the right place at just the right time to prevent something from happening. So I know that what we're doing is a divine purpose. It's just, I'm amazed. I'm honestly, I'm still amazed at it, man. When I sit and think about it, I'm still amazed at how we're able to bring little girls back that have been taken for trafficking, how we're able to save women from being attacked by brothers. And what I think about a lot is, if every brother who knew something about self-defense, or something about marksmanship, if every brother who knew something would just take it upon himself to teach someone else, whether it was a woman or a child or a man, just teach someone else and spread this knowledge, we'd be a more efficient people as it relates to protecting ourselves. So that's my little story that I'll give you.
Absolutely. And I'm just grateful that you were there to help your friend, because who knows what would have happened. And it's stories like that that make men like you, and that's why I say you guys are men, because some men would run. Some men would run. And when I tell you that, I don't deny it, especially this generation we got going out there now. I'm like, I'm not too sure that we're safe, So, and we've spoken of that before, Kimani. You know what I'm saying? We've spoken of that before in a past show of mine. That we were interviewing, that I was saying, you were talking about that, how I think you guys actually do help these younger guys, that you guys get through the program and teach them those skills as well, to be that gentleman and whatnot. Right. Shemuel, the same question for you.
We were actually bodyguarding. This was, I want to say back in 2016, maybe 2015, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not going to name the celebrity's name, but was on a detail with this individual. And as usual, you have the random fans that want to go home or spend time with the artist or the entertainer, or whatever, after events or whatever the case may be. Well, this particular situation, everything was fine. Everybody was complying. And I began to hear a no and a stop. When I heard the no and the stop, I got into my position for response, so I can really articulate and understand really what was going on. And, you know, the no's and the stops got louder. So I intervened, had a conversation with the client. He said everything was fine. I looked over at the young lady. She had a little look on her face, and I basically just told her, hey, I want you to get your stuff together and come on out. He got a little irritated, but he and I had a very nice, a very interesting conversation about where things could possibly go if he continued down this road. He said, you know, I was overstepping my bounds, and, you know, we had an expressive conversation that he ended up calming down from. And she was able to be walked out safely. And I've never worked for him again. But it was an interesting night because, you know, to hear some other guards say, hey, man, you just risk your, and they're going to talk bad about you. You know, I said, man, I couldn't live with myself if I sat there and God forbid something would have happened to this young lady and I had the ability or the power to do something. And when I sit before my creator, I don't want him to look at me and I'm asking for all these things. Father, help me, do this for me. Lord, do this for me. He says, well, son, I gave you these abilities to do for the people and you didn't do it. So, you know, I have to do what I'm put here to do. And I don't care if it's 1 against 1,000, if it's 1 against 50, you know, it has to be done. You know, I don't care about being popular. I don't care about saying the wrong thing that may offend the masses if I know it's right to do. So,
amen.
That's what it's about. Because I know that a lot of times my understanding, I've never been one of those what they call groupies. I've never been behind any artists or anything, but I heard that that's a lot of what goes on, and I could just imagine what the child was, or what the young lady was going through. Somebody's asking a question here through via social media, but I will go on and I'll go back to that question because I don't have my glasses on, you guys. I'm sorry. I can't see. I'm like, I can't see it. So anyhow, now, when you guys did this, and I know it's your passion for women, for the human trafficking that's been going on, especially here in Atlanta. If you guys didn't know, it's one of the, I hate to put it this way, but it's one of those cities that it was happening all the time. You know, it's just heartbreaking to see our children being taken away. Okay, I'm one of those that I look at all my neighbors, and I learned this more by doing an interview with Kimani. Look at all your neighbors, look to see if something looks different down the street. Question, call the police if you have no way of doing anything. After doing these interviews with Kimani and other people along the way and looking at the way that times are, I myself, who never wanted to own a gun because I was terrified of them, am to the point where I'm like, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to get gun training. And, of course, I'm going to do it with Kimani and them because I think, for me, that works for me. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take my children, and you're not going to use us as an example. And it's not going to happen under my watch, not to my children and not to myself. So, I just really appreciate you men for doing what you do. This sex trafficking, Kimani, because I know you've told me, how bad is it so that the listening audience gets an actual grasp of what it is that's going on here? And I can imagine it's the entire state of Georgia, but I hear of it a lot in Atlanta. How bad is it?
Well, I don't, when I say what I'm about to say, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, like it's stopped or anything like that, because it certainly has not. It has slowed down. And the reason it's slowed down is because of a few reasons. The president has declared missing women and children a national emergency. And by doing so, he's allocated a few $1 billion, as well as the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and the Coast Guard, to stopping it. So that has put a dent in it. The fact that homeschooling and this virtual schooling is going on throughout most of the country, less of our kids are accessible to these predators, but it's still going on. And Atlanta is still the #1 place for missing and exploited Black children, for sure. It's one child, like they say about COVID, one case of COVID is too much. One child missing is too many. We've had, I just shared a post the other day, 6 Black children missing since August 22nd, or August 21st, or something like that, or August 12th. Something it's on my Facebook. It's within the last few days. We've had 6 Black children that I know about that are missing. So it's still ramped up. But at one point in Atlanta, and I know you remember this, when I was really out there giving speeches and stuff, there was, man, you couldn't. It's like everybody knew somebody that had somebody that had come up missing, or that had fallen victim to sex trafficking. I mean, it was really, really bad. So is it as bad as it was a year ago? No, but it's still pretty bad out there.
So Kimani and Shem, this question's for both of you, whoever can answer it, because I know you guys collab so much together. What can these children do? Because it's still 6 children is still too many from October, or you said August 22nd. And it just breaks my heart. I just wish I can save them all. I love children. But what can these children do? If there's a mother listening right now, if there's a father, a brother, an uncle, whoever's listening, a friend, what can you fellas tell them to keep these babies safe?
One of the things that we like to talk about is, for a child, their strongest weapon is their ability to see, hear, and speak. Right now, they have to be able to. We have to sit down with our children and articulate the brutal honesty of what's going on. You never want to sugarcoat things, because sometimes when we sugarcoat things, kids don't understand the severity of it. And we're so afraid of letting our children know the truth about what is going on, that they are oftentimes walking into a world that, because we've sugarcoated it so much, that they cannot really conceptualize truly how dangerous it is. And I understand we want to keep them in a child's place, but in the wild, when a mother lion or mother bear is protecting these children or their cubs, they make sure that the cub understands that there is true imminent danger that is lurking beyond the bush, or whatever the case may be. In this society, we are dealing with true predators. One of the things that we like to do with our children is having them project their voice, learning to articulate certain verbiages. Like, for example, instead of just yelling, help, help, we like to say, rape, rape, this is not my father. Rape, rape, this is not my father. So they're combining 2 different emotions or energies into a phrase, which allows somebody like a parent like myself, mommy, somebody to see, all right, this child is articulating rape, and they're also letting us know this is not my father. So if I hear the rape, sometimes people hear that word rape and they run away from it, or they shy away from it. Sometimes they can hear, okay, this is not my father, and they'll be confused. But when you combine both and you're able to articulate and project your voice, that's why we work heavy on voice projection, being able to speak as loud as possible. As a 6-year-old kid, you're not going to beat up a 30-year-old man. But if I can project my voice and use certain situational movements that articulate the responses as best as possible, then we can we can get away and we can survive.
And I'm going to ask you fellas the same thing for a woman who's been dealing. It's no secret, and anybody who follows my show and watches my show, it's no secret. I dealt with domestic violence, almost lost my life to it. And it's something that I really fight for other women and men, because women do it too, believe it or not, you guys, it's the truth. So with that being said, when somebody's in one of these situations and they're defensiveless, how can this woman seek help? What can a woman do, or man, because it happens, and I know it sounds silly, but it does happen. What can they do to get that help? What do you recommend, Kimani?
I'm gonna be honest, sis. I'm old school, man. And a lot of women, a lot of this, what I'm about to say is easier said than done. Um, if you value your life and you value your physical being more than comfort, then you'll get up and you'll leave and you'll go. I don't care if you got to go stay with a brother, a cousin, a sister till you get back on your feet, a shelter until you get back on your feet. There's brothers like myself and Shem who have hell. We've even you know about the Huey houses. I've even bought Huey houses, man, for women in those particular situations. Of course, there's not enough, but you have to remove yourself from that situation by any means necessary. You only got one you. Now, if it gets to the point, like you said, you almost lost your life, then one good turn deserves another, man. If you almost lost yours, you should be making somebody almost lose theirs, if not lose theirs. Um, I don't have any compassion or any. I'm trying to word this correctly. I don't believe in a man, putting his hands on a woman or beating a woman into submission to the point where she's scared to leave and all of that stuff. I don't show any favor for a man like that. So whatever a man like that gets, he gets, because nobody owns anybody. I don't care what your little piece of paper says, to death do his part and all of this stuff. It doesn't make me a difference. If a person wants to leave, a person doesn't want to be in a relationship, a person doesn't have to be in that relationship. Now, I've gone into houses before to break up domestic disputes because the children called me and said, my mama's boyfriend is beating her up. Or the woman called me and says he jumps on me and this and that. And I've gone in there just to be like, hey, bro, come on, talk to me. Let's go for a ride. Let's go get a drink. I'll go buy the guy a drink and we'll talk about it. And it's been successful. God, thank God it's been successful to where if the brother, the next time the brother feels, like he wants to do something, he'll call him back, man, can you please come get me, Max? She get on my fucking nerves, bro. I'm on my way. We'll come get you and we'll talk about it. And it seems to help as long as you have an elder there. I consider myself an elder. I'm 47. I'm elder to a lot of guys out here. That you can sit down and talk to and blow some steam off. But as far as women are concerned, if you find yourself in that situation, I mean, this is what I'm teaching for, and this is what Shin is teaching, what he's teaching, to get away from it by any means necessary. Because every single day I could post how a woman has lost her life to domestic violence. And I got 4 daughters, and God forbid any man puts his hands on one of my daughters. You won't know about him no more. He's coming wherever I am. I'm bringing him with me. So yeah. I don't have any sympathy for a man that puts his hands on a woman, because it's your job. To me, it's a man's job to control his emotions.
Absolutely.
And when you can't, that makes you out of control, and it's incumbent upon someone or some object to put you back in control, like any other wild animal. So.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's exactly it. And for me, it took a lot of years of therapy, and I'm here now, and I get that. And when you're in those situations, and women get out, there's people you can call. You can reach out to me. I'll walk you through the steps. I got out. I found a way out, and thank God I got out alive. Not every woman is as lucky as I am. So have strength and know that there are people that have gone through what you're going through and have gotten, hey, I'm living testimony. I'm walking, I'm breathing, and thank God, I'm still here. But I nearly lost my life, so it's something I find close. Now, this was a question that they asked. Okay. Lunchtime with Anna. Caller, go ahead with your name, your number, or in your question. I'm sorry.
Hi, good morning, Anna. This is Toya with you on the line. Hello.
Hey, Toya, how are you? I got Kimani and Shamwell on the line.
Hi, Kings. How are you guys? Good afternoon.
Good, sis. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Yeah, no, this is close and near to my heart too. I'm just calling in and showing my support, you guys. And you keep it up, honey. I'm all about making sure the ladies know how to defend themselves and are aware of their surroundings and what's going on. So definitely, I'm just listening in. I don't have a question. I just want to let you guys know. Thank you so much. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Y'all
No,
remember, I'm here for you.
Will do, sis. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support, sis.
love you,
Blessings,
sis. You know I
blessings.
love you. Thank you for calling in. Um, Now I have a comment that was written here online that I'm able to see now. So this is for you fellas. Do you have an intense training or camp session that is within a certain time frame? For example, weekly, monthly, or ongoing? Is it offered locally? I guess they're trying to see if it's offered in more state than one, or what do you guys do? If you guys can help them.
Shim, I'll let you answer your question.
Well, okay. Well, for our program, the Bus System Academy, we have a revolving door of training. It's constantly, it's ongoing. If you're not local, we do have online training to where you can go to our website and schedule and set up for the actual online training program. And that'll give you access to the information that we're putting out, tutorials and so on and so forth. And you can honestly schedule Zoom or online live time classes with us for you and your family. And if you're local, we do have class times where we're doing combative days. We have Muay Thai days, kickboxing days, anxiety training days. So whether you're signing up for just a combative program, we're going to cover a whole realm of situational awareness, self-defense, helping you with your daily anxiety, your breathing. A lot of times we suffer in live time because we haven't learned how to control our breathing and how to truly master that inner energy. What we tap into is the subconscious mind, helping you bring that subconscious warrior out. In a lot of time in domestic situations or live time assaults, what happens is that part of our brain or that consciousness shuts down because we're afraid, and that fear overtakes us and we freeze. Then we live with the regret or the thought, the reoccurring thought that says, I wish I could have, why didn't I? And that is a regret that we carry, and that adds to more anxiety, more depression. And it takes a long time sometimes for the victim to get over that. So what we try to do is we try to work on not just the ability for you to fight out of the situation, but the psychology and the emotional control and the stress control that is needed in live time. So even if you're sitting at your desk and you get an attack coming on, you're able to compartmentalize, bring it back down, and be able to function through. So we have a long program, but like I say, within the first couple of weeks, you'll have something, or literally the first day, you'll have something to take with you. And if you stick with it, it's something that you can build on, and it can become a lifestyle.
Okay, so yesterday, just so the listening audience knows, Shamuel has people getting in contact for him worldwide. And Shamuel, do you mind like collaborating on that and saying, where or whatnot without going into detail of who the clients are?
Absolutely. First of all, it's truly a blessing. So thank you for everybody who's sharing the program. Thank you for everybody who is supporting the program. We have been fortunate enough we're fortunate enough to be training over in India now. We're fortunate enough to have the program in Africa. We have the program South America. So we have it in China now. So it's a blessing that it's taking off, not just here in the States, but it's taking off overseas. Some of the coolest stuff in the world is actually virtually training people in other countries and watching them develop and watching their skill sets form. And matter of fact, I have shirts that I have to send overseas now because people are in the program. They've gotten through their first month or so in the program, and we have merchandise to ship overseas now because they want to show their friends and support the program even further. So it's a blessing. There's a lot of rape, a lot of sexual assaults that go on, a lot of violence that goes on overseas, and for people to be able to see this program and find value in it and be able to apply it, and to watch people walk around with confidence and repost about their confidence and things of that nature. That's a blessing, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
You know what? Hey, round of applause. You go with your bad self. I'm looking forward, man. Kimani was telling me how fast you are and stuff. I'm like, I know I'll never be half as fast as him, but I can't wait to get in there and train with you. Which is one of the things that I will start next month before my 44th birthday. I'll be 44 on the 23rd next month. So yes, I'm proud of you. I'm like, wow, when you told me that, I was like, now that that it's rewarding because you're doing the right thing. And that's how you're like, wow, I'm actually sending things out to Europe. How cool can that be? You know what I'm saying? So congratulations on that. Now, before I go on to my next segment, of course we will, interact here for a few. So you guys stay on air. But I wanted to ask you guys, if I find myself, Anna finds herself in a situation where and it's not always a white van, I'm just saying, there's a white van and it's walking behind me. I go to check my mail. And it's, as I'm walking, it's right there. It doesn't feel safe. What do you fellas recommend? If I haven't taken any type of self-defense, if I don't carry a concealed weapon, what is your recommendation instead of freezing right there?
I recommend you turn around and run back in the house as fast as possible. Who cares how it looks? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just the Culligan man or the Maytag man, and he's looking like, what the hell is wrong with her? It's better to get back in that house and be able to stare through your blinds to see what's going on than to freeze up or to just walk slowly because you don't want somebody to think that you're some type of kook. We know what's going on out there, and as far as I'm concerned, there's having awareness without utilizing the senses that kick in from that awareness is useless. You know what I'm saying? Like, get back in the house as soon as possible or as fast as possible. Forget the mail. That's my advice.
Absolutely. Makes perfect sense. Now, for my next segment, Kira, Wind Up Wednesday, how are you doing, sweetheart?
Hello. First of all, you guys totally switched what I was going to say today. So for my Wind Up Wednesday, I just want to say thank you to you guys specifically and personally, because it's not a lot of men out here that would be willing to do what you guys do.
Absolutely.
And do it passionately. So I'm just going to give my take on Wind Up Wednesday in 3 words. Provision, compassion, and protection. You guys have provision to protect not just one group of people, but everybody. And I think I hope people look at you guys and see the examples that you are. And like, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, if, you can teach one person and then they teach someone else. So I hope that that's what's going on. Anna, can you please make sure you put the website in the link so that I can sign up too, because now I'm like really excited, and
we'll go together, fellas. This aside from on air, this is my buddy. So we'll go together if you want. We'll pre-plan a class. We'll go together at their convenience whenever they do the next class. So, and I'll send you all their information via messenger if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Kira, give them your contact information, because I also have a caller online, but I want you to also stay on because, I don't know if they also have a question for you. So
I will. So again, I'll tell you today's words: provision, compassion, and protection, because that's what I hear in you guys. And again, I say thank you. My contact information is Instagram. I am Kira Devon, and my website, KiraDevon.com.
All right,
nice
sweetheart.
meeting you, sis.
You guys will love her.
Blessings.
You guys will love her when you guys meet her. She's just a beautiful person, and she does so much, such as I do, for the community, for teenagers and women, so and young men.
Our
So
our next camp, Anna, is October 23rd. So I want to make sure that she's online when we say that. It's October 23rd. So you guys got to get your registrations in, because all the women from our last camp that we just completed this weekend, they were already signing up, and it was 20 of them, and we're only taking 30 this time. So it's
Okay.
you guys got to hurry up and get that registration in.
Okay, Kira, we can do this. I'm not sure if it's for the whole weekend or how they do it. You fellas can tell me. We could do this for my birthday. That will be something fun instead of taking a vacation, because we can't really vacation now because of COVID. So that would be fun. And Kimani, while you're on air, what is the fee for this camp? I'm sure there's a fee.
It's $200 per person, and that includes your 100% vegan diet. You can bring your own tent. We'll supply you a tent. It includes the rounds that you'll be shooting. And it starts Friday at 12 o'clock and goes till Sunday at 12 o'clock, and it ends with a paint and sip. So, but you guys are we have to end it with a paint and sip, because it's pretty intense from Friday all the way to Sunday morning. So we got to end it with something nice for y'all. So.
Oh, that's fun. I'll warn everybody, I'm very non-aerobic. So this will be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to be out there. You'll be out there climbing ropes, low crawling, pushing vehicles, everything.
Y'all probably be laughing at me. Y'all be like, oh, this isn't the Lunchtime with Anna you guys see there.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead with your question and or your comment.
No, I'm just touching in. It's too soon. I just want to tell these guys, man, it's awesome that what you're doing, and especially in the times that we live in, with all this violence and just not just pathetic, but hatred and bigotry and all this kind of stuff. And somebody's going to have to sooner or later run into something, and they're going to need some kind of defense. So I just want to thank you all for sharing what you did. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate it, brother.
Donald. Thank you, Donald. I appreciate you taking out of your time to call. Thank you. So anyways, is there any contact information that you have, Kimani, before getting off air?
Man, I'm an old school head, man. I'm still on that, you call it MySpace. So I'm lucky to have Facebook. So you can hit me up on at Kimani Sadiq on Facebook. Kimani Sadiq at yahoo.com.
Okay, and Shemuel, what is your contact information for them to contact you, or and I also want you guys to give, if you guys could, before we get off air, also give your personal training information. And Kimani, please, if you have a flyer or whatever out for any of the training stuff that you're doing, if you could please send it to me, and I'll make sure I share it to other women and children who may be interested in men.
Will do.
Shemuel? Is Shemuel still there? Oh, I lost Shemuel. Okay.
We lost the coach. Oh, I can speak on it if he's not back yet. He certainly offers by appointment training, just like I do. We both offer by appointment training. He offers virtual training. You guys can hit him. He's got some more sites, but I know for a fact you can hit him on Facebook. He's very responsive at Sar Samuel Benjamin Benjamin.
Did I go out?
There he is. There he is.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. All right. You can also find me at www.thebussystem.com. That is how you register for our online training, our online programming. We also have, like I said, the Bus System on Instagram, and Sar Shemuel Benjamin on Facebook, or the Bancroft Urban Survival System is our business page on Facebook. And if you need our personal contact or our business number, it's 404-210-8671.
Awesome. Shemuel, be expecting a call from me separately of what we spoke about. You guys, this has been, I don't think there's any more people that I like interviewing better than these men, because these men care. They take out of their time. They, you can tell the passion because they don't have to do this. Ladies, make sure you take some type of training. Times are getting rougher and rougher. You heard Kimani tell the story of how somebody tried to get into his friend's second story house. You heard Shemuel talk about how there was a gathering going on with somebody, of fame or whatever, and how they were treating a woman. There's children out there that are constantly taken. One child is too many children. One woman is too many women. Okay, so you guys love each other, hug each other, protect each other, be your brother's keeper. Please be your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper. And I will see you guys next week with something very important on sexual assault as well. God bless each and every one of you guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye.
See you later, sis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.